September is self-care month, so it is a great time to talk about a period of a woman's life that we will all experience, but for decades we've known far too little about.
Yes, so what are we talking about? Menopause, and we are going to be educated about it today, and someone is here to teach us also how to survive menopause. That would be the International Menopause Whisperer, Dr. LaKeischa. Thank you so much for coming to Great Day.
Thank you for having me.
I think our conversations are picking up about menopause,
Yes,
right? How much
absolutely.
do we still not know, though?
Oh, there is still so much to still be learned by the women themselves and by the practitioners. I am a trained OBGYN, and I tell people all the time that in residency, we weren't taught about menopause and perimenopause. Matter of fact, the term used to be premenopausal.
Yes.
So perimenopause is a newer term in our lexicon that's now gaining some steam, and people are now recognizing it and saying, oh, yeah, that sounds familiar, or I know a little bit about it. And so it's more of like this grassroots type of conversation that's happening, that's now everybody's going, oh yes, wait, I need to know a little bit more. Oh, now this is making sense. Now I understand what's happening with my body, but it's not only with the person or the one that's going through it, but their community, because it's going to affect everyone.
Yeah.
I remember always hearing about menopause, and then a couple years ago we learned about perimenopause and some of the symptoms that come with that. And I think that's where some of the confusion happens, because menopause is just for a year.
Oh,
explain this to me.
Oh my goodness, I'm so
I don't want to say the wrong
glad
information.
that you have asked. So I'm a teacher inherently. I love definitions and setting a foundation. Menopause, I heard another doctor say this on a podcast. It's the only diagnosis that your doctor sends you away for and says, come back in about a year and I'll give you the diagnosis. What do I mean by that is that you have to go 12 consecutive months without a cycle to be considered in menopause. And so at that point, some people will say 12 years and a day you're postmenopausal, or 12 months and a month you're postmenopausal, because it has to be that 12 consecutive months. Perimenopause, I have coined, is probably purgatory. So
This is the fun part.
This is the fun part, because you can start experiencing symptoms because your hormones are not going to the levels they used to.
Right.
5, 7, 10, 15 years before you have that 12 consecutive months.
Kristen.
And the symptoms vary from person to person.
Yeah.
And we're finding that some people will say we've gotten about 85 different symptoms. Some people even, I have one of my, I call them my super friends. She's a menopause nutritionist, and she and her team have done some surveys, and they've had over 100 different symptoms come out of their surveys.
Wow.
So everybody is different and unique, and that's why we need to personalize this time of life.
Yeah. So the big ones: sleep. You lose your hair, but you gain hair in other places.
Oh my goodness, yes. So sleep is, yes, so glad you said. Sleep is a big one. And usually sleep is one of the big ones that I see a lot of women come in with, where they're saying, I can't get to sleep or stay asleep. And that's because your progesterone, for instance, has started dropping. So if you go back to the foundation of what happens when you have a regular cycle, progesterone, I say, think of your period in terms of grass growing. Estrogen helps the grass grow tall, so that means the lining starts growing. Progesterone's in charge of the lawnmower system. So progesterone waits for that mid-cycle to see, was there an egg fertilized? No egg was fertilized this time. Okay, guys, in 2 weeks we're gonna mow the lawn. But I gotta wait 2 weeks, and I should hang around so that she can still sleep, so that her breasts don't get tender, so that she can still function, so that she doesn't get anxious, because that's what progesterone does for us.
So that starts to diminish in perimenopause.
Yes, and now you can't get to sleep. You can't stay asleep. So those are some of the things that start happening. The hair's starting to grow in different places. The billy goat gruff thing that's happening, where you got to keep
the
something.
random ones.
Yes, that is because you're starting to make other types of what we call androgens, and that is where your body is trying to figure out, how do I help her? How do I make this time a little less bumpy for her?
Right. Yeah. Oh, I know you have more questions.
I know. We're like itchy ears too. There's all sorts of things.
Itchy
Lots of
ears,
symptoms.
ringing
So,
of the ears, itchy skin.
It's all related.
All
I know
of it,
people
all
can
of it.
follow you. People have so much more they want to learn.
Yes.
You can follow Dr. LaKeischa. You can follow her on Instagram at Dr. LaKeischa MD.